communities for development activities to take place is very welcome and is the right focus. The idea of continuing to invest and even increase investments in human capital, to me, is the right focus. That is to say, allocating more resources to the Student Loan Board, investing in educational infrastructure across the country, and then investing in health services and health care across the country. I think that's why the thematic focus to me is on point, and I support it wholeheartedly. The only challenge I see is the ambitious premise on the revenue side. Are we going to be able to achieve 2 million barrels per day as projected? How feasible, how realistic is that projection? And how authentic are the estimates and the reports from various agencies projecting that 2025 will have a daily production of 2 million or slightly over? I have my doubts as someone from that area who is quite deeply entrenched. But that's the official report. So it's quite optimistic. There's nothing wrong about optimism. I think it's good that a budget is looking up and not looking down. It's better to deal with an optimistic budget estimate than a pessimistic one. So we wish our country well. I'm sure by the time we dissolve into the committees and we see the details, the committees and all of us will now be in a better position to drill down and see more specifics and details about investments in these areas. But I think the President is right in prioritizing national security investments, because all our national security agencies need more funding, more equipment, increase in morale, and sometimes also increase even in strength, So the investment in national security is well-founded, and I'm a believer in continuous government investment in human capital, education, healthcare, and support for the less privileged, the vulnerable members, some kind of social investment. And I heard all of that. So the only concern, of course, is the deficit nature of next year's budget, just like the one we're dealing with now, and then the borrowings that will be resorted to be able to meet the gap. But and that's why I am generally speaking in support of the tax reforms, because we need to ramp up more revenues. All over the world, countries are run on tax. Anything else is an aberration, which will not last for long and forever. So, on the whole, it's an optimistic estimate, and we look forward to drilling down to get at more specifics. Thank you.
How about the timing of the budget? The time is arriving in the National Assembly. Do you think that the National Assembly will be able to consider this in good time and keep to the January to December budget cycle?
Well, that is the prerogative of the National Assembly. When we begin to work, we'll see how it goes. But I think January is a good date. It's a good month. Early February, for me. It's not the fault of the National Assembly that we are receiving the budget this late. So, but let's see how it goes. It's still within the time frame.
On the tax reform, the Senate President and the Speaker of House of Representatives has just told us that the National Assembly is in consultation with governors. Do you think
we are in consultation amongst ourselves even? I'm a member of the 10-man Senate Committee, and we are talking amongst ourselves. And my position, as you know, has been generally in support, in general principle, of the need for a tax reform, a comprehensive tax reform. Do I agree with every single provision or section? No. Do we need to tweak a few things? Do we need to dot some I's, cross some T's? Certainly. That's the work of Parliament. That's what I've been saying all over. So that will take place. As for consultations, I don't know about consultations with the executive, but I know that there are discussions and consultations amongst ourselves, among various senators and, if you like, tendencies and people who have different perspectives. We are talking amongst ourselves. And that's the duty of a legislator, okay? That's what we do in Parliament. It's called lobbying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.